to Good Day Chicago in our 9 o'clock hour. Here's some of the things that we're following for you this morning. Winter just won't let go,
winter,
you
right?
know? Definitely not done with us yet. Soon, promise?
Soon, next week, yeah.
Double.
Well, at least for a little while.
All that? Okay. All right. You still need coats, of course, and we're going to tell you how you can help the Bears make that happen for so many people in need in the closing days of their coat drive.
And do you know why you always put off packing to the last second? How are you guys on that?
Oh,
I already saw
totally
that
the last second. Totally.
I like to get ahead of the game, actually. Mrs. C is helpful with that. Yeah.
Oh, Mrs. C. She's
I'm like the day before.
That's a wonderful
the
Day before, okay.
Yeah. Well, do you know why people usually put that off to the last second? Because it's hard. It doesn't have to be, though. You got an expert who's going to help you pack your bags without all the stress.
Oh, I'm looking at some pretty fancy folding techniques. over there.
Ideal,
That's important.
yeah.
That is important. All right, we have someone everyone will unite behind today. A young man from Uniting Voices will be here, and you have got to hear his operatic voice.
Cannot wait.
Looking forward to
Yeah.
that. As we take a live look outside at the forecast, being a little less snow on top of that thing every single day, Caitlin.
I like to see it. We have a touch of snow out there, actually, in Chicagoland this morning. We've been watching these live shots, and you can kind of see the snowflakes if you look really closely. Behind me, Satellite Radar shows where the snow is falling from Chicago Point South especially, but it is going to be just light snow. Closer look does show where the snow is now falling from. Lake County, Northwest Indiana, Jasper, Newton counties getting in on that snowfall. From Chicago points north to Evanston, Lake County, portions of Grundy County with some light snow currently. The best chance for snow is going to be now until about 2 or 3 p.m. Then we're going to have a break before more wet weather is on the way early tomorrow. Temperatures outside right now feeling okay. We're at 20 at the lakefront, 22 at O'Hare and Midway, 21 in Gary, 24 in Joliet. Here's our futurecast to show that potential for snow as mentioned until about mid-afternoon. Then this evening, temperatures still hovering in the low 30s by 4 o'clock. And then tomorrow, that's when our next round of wet weather returns, including mixed precipitation. So freezing drizzle, some sleet, some snow. Timeline-wise, this is 7:30, and you can see most of us with that potential for the slick roads. So take your time tomorrow early. In the afternoon even, we have the potential for snow, especially as you get close to the lake. But temperatures tomorrow will be fantastic. Mid to upper 30s are expected before the cold air settles in again, dropping us down to about 10 in many spots as we head into early Saturday. So 70 forecast, temperature right around 24 degrees on Saturday afternoon. Sunday, a little better, back to 35. But talking about better, look at next week. We're starting off with the 40s Monday and Tuesday. Back to you.
Okay, thank you, Caitlin. A couple of perplexing stories here to start you with. Chicago police are warning Honda drivers about a string of airbag thefts across the entire city.
Roseanne is live this morning in Jefferson Park, just one of the many neighborhoods that have been hit by this recent crime spree. Roseanne?
It is happening all across the city. Police say they've seen a huge uptick in these kinds of crimes within the last couple of months, particularly targeting late model Hondas. Don't let this happen to you. We want to give you some advice here. First, the video from Citizen App showing how the thieves bust the driver's side windows and then pop that airbag right out of the steering wheel. Cars were targeted here in Jefferson Park, where I am, Bucktown, Uptown, Portage Park, at least 16 neighborhoods, and at least 38 thefts from late December through February. Sometimes multiple cars on the same block hit. The reason? Those airbags have a high resale value on the black market, $120 to $400, compared to the factory cost of $1,000. Now, police say the offenders in these thefts are 1 to 2 men wearing jumpsuits, possibly driving a red Ford F-150 or a GMC black pickup with dealer plates. Police recommend using some kind of anti-theft device like the club on your steering wheel, and they can't get to that bag. And be sure to tell your friends and family about the problem. It is a nationwide problem. I want to show you some more video taken by police in Howard County, Maryland. This is through their body-worn cameras. They captured thieves in action, found a car filled with stolen airbags, what they believe to be stolen airbags. So these thefts occur mostly in the overnight hours. Police say whatever you do, if you find your car with that broken window and that missing airbag, don't touch anything until you give police a call. So some tips for you. We have seen a lot of Hondas out there parked on the street. A lot of people have no choice, but some tips for you to just be extra cautious. Back to you in the studio.
Yeah, Roseanne, we're all over here like, you hear about catalytic converters. Just last week we had the whole license plate situation. But, I mean, what is it inside of an airbag?
Right.
That's worth stealing.
It's just... Right, exactly. It's just that if your airbag is disabled in your own car and you were to try to get a new one from the factory, it's $1,000. So people sell them, and I'm sure many people think they're buying it legitimately, and a lot of people probably don't care, and they're getting a cheaper airbag, if there's deployed and they need a new one.
I don't know, but thank you for letting us know.
Sure.
Yeah. All right, here's the other story that has everybody really across the nation just wondering what happened, what is going on. Today's show host Savannah Guthrie has released a video pleading the return of her mother. Police say Nancy Guthrie was taken from her home Saturday night. And here's that emotional message from Savannah and her siblings.
Mama, if you're listening, we need you to come home.
We too have heard the reports about a ransom letter in the media. As a family, we are doing everything that we can. We are ready to talk. However, we live in a world where voices and images are easily manipulated. We need to know, without a doubt, that she is alive and that you have her. We want to hear from you, and we are ready to listen. Everyone is looking for you, Mommy, everywhere. We will not rest. Your children will not rest until we are together again. We speak to you every moment, and we pray without ceasing. And we rejoice in advance for the day that we hold you in our arms again. We love you, Mom.
Only reason why I'm not crying now is because I already cried this morning when I watched it. First thing this morning. I'd heard that they posted it last night, watched it as soon as I woke up, totally in tears with them. I mean, I just can't even fathom what they're going through. Police in Tucson denied a report by Ashley Banfield claiming Savannah Guthrie's brother-in-law was a person of interest. TMZ also says that it got a ransom note along with several other outlets for Nancy Guthrie. They turned it over to police to try to get a verification. We'll see.
Yeah, we're supposed to get another update from the sheriff's office there
Later
a little
today,
bit
right? Yeah.
today. Well, every day, new revelations come from the newly released Jeffrey Epstein files. 3.5 million files were released last week, and it's taken a lot of time to read through them. One of the new details involves Woody Allen's wife, who Allen met when she was 10 years old. Suni Previn told Epstein that the Me Too movement had gone too far, and she blamed a 15-year-old girl who was getting texts from former Congressman Anthony Weiner for getting him in trouble. On the Chicago Report, a Northwestern law professor says it is stunning what keeps coming out.
The second thing is the mind-blowing stupidity of a lot of these people, like Clinton and like Bannon and like George Mitchell and Larry Summers. I mean, do they really think that no one would ever learn about this? I never met Epstein. He must be a very compelling person.
The file showed that Epstein helped Allen and Previn's daughter get into Bard College.
There's going to be a new option for low-cost prescription drugs today in Hoffman Estates. The Dispensary of Hope is having a ribbon cutting this afternoon. It helps people without insurance be able to get the drugs they need, typically without having to pay for the first 90 days after getting out of the hospital.
Well, if you want a wedding that will haunt your guest, Disneyland will start letting you rent out their haunted mansion. You'll be terrified by the price, though. Between $25,000 and $40,000. You can only have 25 guests, and it has to be before 8 a.m.
Yeah, it's going to be haunting your pocketbooks for a while.
All right, do you think you could learn Spanish in 4 days? A lot of his fans are trying to learn it in time for his halftime performance on Super Bowl Sunday. Some people say they are delusional enough to think they can do it.
Bad Bunny, we are ready, yes. All right, Pod Chicago is here. Oh, go ahead, take the shot. I mean, just a super cutie. Mark, you too.
Mark is also
But we have more to learn about this cute one that needs a new home. We'll talk to them after the break.
Donald
9/11. And you know, on Thursdays, we love our friends from Paws, those with 2 legs and 4. We always have a howling good time, can we say? Paws Chicago, though, always doing wonderful things. Mark Luke is our friend and Paws Chicago volunteer back with us, along with who?
This cutie patootie is Cutie. And she, boy, does she live up to her name. I mean, I'm glad the camera is in tight. Gorgeous little lady. We think she's a shepherd mix. She's got some gorgeous brindle coloring on her toes and on her legs. She's really energetic, incredibly outgoing. I'm going to call her fearless. She has walked through every door at the studio to meet everyone. And yet, she's a perfect balance because, as you can see, she's a cuddle bug. And she loves...
She's giving everybody kisses.
She loves sitting in your lap. She loves meeting people. You have a guest coming up with the most phenomenal voice.
Yeah.
She was back there, and she was just in awe watching him sing. I was like, well, if you stick around, we might get the full show. But very wonderful dog. She's going to make somebody very lucky.
Well, you know, you guys can stick around however long you like. We love having you around here. Tell us about what's going on right now to get more people involved with an effort to get more little ones like Cutie into forever homes.
Well, you know, I mean, Paws Chicago, we've been doing this for over 20 years. We are open 7 days a week. For folks who aren't familiar, our adoption center is 1997 North Clybourne. We have saved and rehomed over 5,000 animals every year. We also perform about 25,000 surgeries annually now, all over low-cost, no-cost spay and neuter. And one of the things that I'm proud of as a volunteer is we are almost entirely volunteer-driven.
Yeah.
We do have a staff, and they are so incredible, but the volunteers are our lifeblood. And that's what makes the organization special, because you have people that are giving their time to save these animals. They spend a lot of time with them. They get to know them. So when you come in to meet an animal, you're going to get somebody who's actually had a lot of experience with one of these dogs or cats to kind of help introduce you to them. So I always tell people, you know, if you're looking for a great way to give back to your community, you should get involved as a volunteer at Paws Chicago.
Yeah, now let's say they can't get there. Maybe they don't have the time to volunteer, and we'd love it if you did. There's a discount going on, Slice to Meet You.
Oh, yeah.
Tell us about that.
Well, okay, Super Bowl Sunday.
Yes.
Do you know what you're going to be serving?
Of course, pizza.
Hey, you know, it is the biggest day for pizza orders. Well, we are so lucky, and this is an incredible pairing. Peace Pizza has been working with us for the last 4 years, and they've been doing a specialty pizza, 1 a month for 3 months. And the way it works is if you buy the pizza, it's only $35, and it's a huge pizza. And $80 this year goes back to Paws Chicago. Now, what makes this Super Bowl super? Everybody's been loving this Wiener Circle story. You know, they were giving away all these goodies every time the Bears did something phenomenal, and boy, did they have a great year.
Yeah.
They've partnered up with Wiener Circle to make this incredible New Haven-style pizza. So you've got red sauce, real tangy. You've got the smoked charred Polish sausage, mozzarella, grilled onions, and then chopped up sport peppers. So it's kind of like, yeah, your Maxwell Street Polish sandwich, went over to Taylor Street, got like a whole redo, and came back as this pizza with an attitude. So it's $35. Pete's Pizza, and you get $80 given to Paws Chicago thanks to Peace Makes a donation, and we also have 7 other donors that are each giving $10 for every one of these pizzas. So you can save lives, fill your belly, and you know what? Embrace the fact that the Bears had a wonderful season by doing this Wiener Circle pizza.
Absolutely. Well, I think this is a wonderful partnership, and it's paid off in so many ways each year. I also hear, quickly before we get out of here, somebody took the Pepsi challenge?
Somebody did take the Pepsi challenge. She found a home last week, and she didn't even go home with another dog named Milk to a lady named Laverne. No.
So cute. Congratulations to the happy
what
couple
an adorable
there.
couple. That looks
my
like a match
goodness.
made in heaven.
Just adding to your beautiful family, and of course, someone's going to add Cutie to theirs very soon. Cutie.
Can't wait. Maybe we'll get a Valentine's Day photo with Cutie and her new family.
Share the love. Share the love. Thanks for being back.
Thank you for having
Always
us.
love having you here. All right, everybody. Today on Chicago Now, a thief teams up with an insurance broker for one last heist. We're talking to the director of the brand new thriller Crime 101 starring Chris Hemsworth, Halle Berry, and Mark Ruffalo. Plus, experience Shakespeare like never before. Drunk Romeo and Juliet is making its Chicago debut. The actors explain how they're able to perform, after taking 5 shots of whiskey, plus vintage photo booths are making a comeback, and one of them is coming to Bucktown. We're talking with the owner starting at 10 a.m. on Chicago Now, but take one more good look at Cutie before we get out of here. She's fascinated with Mike Kaplan doing dances on the side.
The dog ran a fox over here.
Welcome back. Time now 9:19 this morning. Got a couple flurries out there, but be okay, Chicago. We got some warmer temperatures not far away. I feel like there's probably 2 different types of packers. You got the one whose bag is packed days before the trip. Then you had that other person who's kind of scrambling the morning of their flight. But that process does not always have to be stressful. Andrew Castellanos is a travel expert and journalist. He will be at the Chicago Travel and Adventure Show a little bit later this month. He's going to share some tips this morning on how to make this process not so stressful. Thanks so much for your time this morning.
Well, thanks for having me.
I want to start with, what is the best strategy for that carry-on?
Well, the rules for carry-ons haven't really changed. You have to fit into a 14 by 22 by 9, 45 linear inchers. But the game changer is when you're traveling international on an international carrier. That's when weight really does matter. So what you're packing inside of that carry-on is key. So our golden rule as a family is you put everything that you want to take on your trip and then cut it in half, and then start with that. And really the end game is to take a look at your itinerary and pick how many outfits you need instead of trying to choose how many shirts and pants and all that sort of stuff. So it really depends on the outfits for your vacation.
And we talked about the carry-ons, but what about the check bags? What should you consider when you're going that route, and what should go in your carry-on compared to what should go on to your check bag?
That's a great question. You know, whether you're packing into a carry-on or a checked bag, you should always take a picture of your belongings because, 46 million bags are checked in this country. And I would hate for somebody to go through the hassle of having to file a claim, and that picture will make life a whole lot easier. But in your personal bag, that soft-sided bag that goes underneath the seat, that's where your medicine and your electronics should go. And you should definitely follow the airline rules when it comes to, e-cigarettes and all that sort of stuff, and keep those in your personal bags as well.
And in this video we're showing here, we got some special tips on how to maybe roll up your clothes. Is that actually worth it? Does that help you save space the way that you're actually folding your clothes that you're putting in your bags?
I've been doing this my whole adult life. I actually don't know how to pack any other way. People are fanatics about these packing cubes, and they come in all different shapes and sizes. I like to use the ones that are super lightweight, that don't actually add any weight to your luggage. And I'm a folder and roller. And my extra tip, especially for your audience, and that I share at the Travel and Adventure Show, is to put a dryer sheet into those cubes, especially the ones that compress everything down. They just help you pack and repack a whole lot easier, and fit everything into that carry-on bag.
Also helps your bag stay fresh while you're traveling as well. Now, unfortunately, there are always times, sometimes you get to your destination, but your bag doesn't arrive with you. What should our viewers do if that happens to them?
Well, one of the lessons that we learned during the pandemic is to put an air tag in your checked bag. I have one in every single one of my bags, and that scheme is so successful that the airlines are now integrating their app technology with the air tags. But if the bag eventually doesn't show up, you immediately want to take a look at the airline app, file that missing claim, and then hopefully you've purchased a travel insurance before your trip, and you can easily save your receipts, upload your receipts, because you are legally allowed to replace anything that's lost or delayed by the airline.
And similar along those lines, who's responsible if your bag actually gets damaged during travel? What are the steps needed to take?
Well, a lot of different manufacturers actually offer a no matter what guarantee. So if you can spend a couple of extra bucks to purchase a bag that has a guarantee that even if the airline damages the bag, that's the way to go. But if you just have a regular bag and it's damaged, you can file a claim either with the airline or with your travel insurance company and try to get reimbursed that way.
Andrew, do you have any tips for maybe parents who are traveling with a lot of kids and they want to save, because these bag fees, they add up extremely, especially if you're taking a lot of kids on a flight. What advice would you have for maybe parents out there trying to save a couple of dollars if they're taking a big family trip somewhere?
Well, remember, each ticketed passenger is allowed the maximum amount of luggage. So depending on the status of that you're on the airline, you might be allowed 2 checked bags per child. And one of the greatest tips that I've learned, and I'm not trying to get anybody in a debt here, is to get a premium travel credit card, because that allows people to check bags for free. And then the best tip that I've ever heard when it comes to parents traveling with children is send an advance team. So one parent goes on, takes all the bags with them, and then the other parent boards absolutely last, right before that door closes, and then gets the children settled. That way they're not on the plane for too long of a time.
That can definitely be a good tip as well. I want to get back to the Chicago Travel and Adventure Show coming up a little bit later this month. What are some of the sessions that are going to be there, and what do you hope people will learn?
Well, it's a traveler's dream come true. There's about 30 informational sessions on 3 different stages. You'll have travel celebrities like Samantha Brown from PBS. And the stage that I'm on is called the Savvy Travel Theater. And that's where I share practical and actionable advice, because I spend about 7 months out of the year on the road, and I'm sharing everything from travel technology to packing, like we just talked about, how to skip lines at major attractions, and those really actionable pieces of travel advice that make travel easier.
Angel, before we get out of here, can you tell us how to find you online for more people looking for tips on how to travel lightly?
Yeah, you can go to my Instagram. It's angels_travels. I also have an informational YouTube channel called The Tour Guy, and people can check out the episodes on different European cities there.
All right, Andrew, thanks so much for your time. We'll be looking forward to seeing you a little bit later on this month. Time now 9:25 this morning on Good Day Chicago. We'll be back in 2 minutes.
9:28, you know what that means. It's
almost
time.
time.
Yeah, Super Bowl of Super Bowls out in Santa Clara happening this weekend. Seahawks and Patriots back at it. Back at it.
once
You know,
again, we've seen
biggest
this before.
football game of them all.
Right. It is also the biggest event in Northern California this year. Ashley Dworkin is there live with just how fans are getting ready for the big game this Sunday. Hey there.
Hi, good morning, Brian and Anita. Yes, here at Levi Stadium, where the sun just came up, and you can see it is ready for those teams, the Seahawks and the Patriots, and so is the Bay Area, with so many fans already here as the countdown to Super Bowl 60 just keeps getting louder.
Game day excitement is intensifying, with the New England Patriots and the Seattle Seahawks both in town for Super Bowl 60. And as the teams prepare for the biggest game in football, coaches and players on both sides say they have some fierce competition ahead.
They're a really good offense. They're really complimentary. You got to be able to control the game and put it on our terms.
The Seattle team, they have a great team. They're here for a reason. It's going to be a great matchup.
Meanwhile, thousands of fans are also getting into the spirit with the help of family-friendly events like the immersive Super Bowl experience, full of games and special exhibits.
There's tons of people around, the music, the energy just feels really alive.
But safety measures are also heightened amidst the fun. The NFL's chief security officer says planning has been underway for a little more than 18 months. Technology experts have also converted space into a cybersecurity hub where they're scanning for any digital threats.
There are no known, specific, or credible threats to the Super Bowl or any of our related events.
Now, more than 90,000 people are expected to visit the Bay Area for the Super Bowl and all of those events that are leading up. And here at Levi's Stadium, they can expand capacity for over 75,000 fans for major games. Brian, Anita?
All right, Josephine, we have one question, and you got to take off your objective hat and give us a real answer.
Who do you got winning this one?
So at first I was going to say the Patriots because I do like an underdog story. However, I asked my 8-year-old nephew, who is a huge football fan and an expert, and he said you got to go with the Seahawks because they got more points in the playoffs, he said, than he's ever seen in his entire life. So I'm going to go with the Seahawks. I think that kid knows his stuff.
All right, a child shall lead the way, yeah.
All right, Ashley, thanks so much for your time.
All right, let's get over to Mike Kaplan. Would you like an 8-year-old assistant? We can go find one for you.
That would be good. I wouldn't mind that. A little help every now and then would be wonderful. All right, we have a little light precipitation falling. I think you can see it there from that shot over the Bean, where it looks like 3.5 people are hanging out there enjoying this chilly weather. But I tell you what, it's not as cold as it has been. But before we get to the big warm-up, we have to navigate a little bit of light precipitation out there. So here's another view. We're looking back to the west now, and maybe you can see some of the snowflakes here falling in front of Willis. This is going to be a day that features a little bit of light precipitation and temperatures that may get to freezing. 22, snowing at O'Hare. We have just enough wind to produce a wind chill of 10, so that's what it feels like. You want the hat, the gloves, the whole deal. 24 at Joliet, one of the warm spots. LaSalle, Peru leading the way with 27. Only 18, though, at Valparaiso. As I showed you, those wind chills, at least we're out of the single digits in most areas, but it still feels like only 9 at Waukegan, 7 at Valparaiso. 12 is the wind chill at Midway and Chicago Heights. Radar, and I have the color set up so that the heaviest quote-unquote snow shows up in green, and you can see now kind of the tri-state and points east. We're seeing a little band of some heavier snow that's moving through the city, but even there, it's a dusting at most. There is some additional snow west of Interstate 39 that will work its way through here. I really think by early afternoon, we're done with the snow for today. Here's a look at our future cast, and you see a little bit of snow shower activity. By noon, 1 o'clock, it's done. If we can get A few peaks of sunshine. I think we'll hit that 32-degree mark for the first time since January 16th. If we don't get there today, we're doing it tomorrow. But here's the deal with tomorrow. Another Clipper system is coming in, tied to a cold front. That will produce perhaps some snow, maybe a little sleet or freezing rain in the morning. That will go over to just snow showers later in the day. With temperatures getting above freezing, this is going to have a tough time sticking. But in the morning, there may be some slippery spots, especially City and Point South, interestingly enough. So we'll keep tabs on that. Lake effect snow could linger into Michiana Friday night into early Saturday, while the rest of Chicagoland enjoys some sunshine, albeit with colder temperatures for one day. It's only one day in my forecast with highs only in the 20s, and that's going to be Saturday. Today, we got a good shot of getting to 32. Light snow showers, especially early, then the breezes will pick up, but that 32 close to normal. Tonight, temperatures don't drop off too much, 28 for the low. Light mix of snow and ice late, as in post-midnight. If you're out during the evening hours, no problem with precipitation. Tomorrow, occasional light mix precip, but high of 36. Cooling off to 24 Saturday, 34 Sunday. Then here are at least 3 days of 40-plus, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, with a chance for some rain coming in on Wednesday. Got a couple of photos to share with you. How about this pretty view from Jan Eigenfeld in Elgin? And she is one of my photography students, but she has really taken off. She takes great photos, love the silhouette of the tree there. And one of the things that I always recommend to anybody, don't just look in the direction of the sunrise or the sunset. Look at the opposite part of the sky because it may be lit up as well. And that's a good picture there showing that. Jan, lovely sky. And Jan's husband, Peter, had a medical procedure about a week ago, and we wish him a speedy recovery from that. George Tamalunas gives us a look at that cardinal hanging out there, enjoying the weather in Valparaiso, and probably looking for a Mrs. Cardinal this time of year. So that's good stuff there, George and Jan. Thank you for your contributions. And how about this? One more bird, Mike Noonan. He's near Milwaukee, and that is a snowy owl. This is a female. The male snowies are almost entirely white. These birds are almost always exclusively found in the Arctic region, but in recent years, they've been showing up much farther south, and we've had them in the Chicago area as well, but Mike caught that one. Looks like that guy's asleep in there. She's taking a little nap there. Mike, thank you for sharing that photo with us. All right. We do have some freezing rain, snow possible, and even though we're talking about some milder temperatures next week, winter is not even close to being over, and people still need coats. Well, here's some help. The Bears and Jewel Osco want to make sure everybody can stay warm. We're joined now by former Bears defensive lineman Henry Melton and Jewel Osco Director of Public Affairs and Government Relations Mary Frances Trucco. Henry, let's start with you, former number 69 for the Bears. Look, I know you grew up in Texas, and you played a few pretty cold games at Soldier Field. What was it like when you had to play in, single digits out there at Soldier Field? Did you get legitimately cold?
I mean, you're not supposed to say that, but it was cold.
You can say
very
it
cold,
now, Henry.
But, yeah, it was like a Chicago thing where you're not allowed to wear any underlying jackets or long sleeves. So, I mean, when I played, that was like the rule. Urlacher said no sleeves. We all went no sleeves, but I was definitely cold. I'm a Texas guy. I'm a warm weather guy.
Sure.
So it definitely threw me off, but it's a Chicago thing.
Now you're a civilian. You're not playing anymore, Henry. Hopefully enjoying retirement from the game. What do you do to stay warm? I mean, I'm sure that you can afford whatever coat you need, but I'm sure you're well aware of the need of others.
Yes, I mean, we're here at Jewel Osco. We got the 37th annual coat drive, and we've collected around 15,000 jackets, and we're looking to get another 10,000. I mean, this has been one of the coldest winters on record, as a weatherman probably just said. So we're looking to get 10,000 more at least, and we have until February 16th to get that done. So if any of your local, Jewel Oscos, anything helps. Families in need.
Sure.
So it'd be, I'm happy to be here.
Well, even your dog is bundled up.
I got a dog with me.
What's the dog's name there, Henry?
Chico. Somebody Somebody that's shopping here gave me the dog. So
Okay, all right.
thought I'd show him off. It was so
Way to
cute.
go. Way to go. You're babysitting
He's got his
Chico.
own little jacket on, see?
He's ready to go.
Yeah,
All
you
right,
can donate the jackets for any puppies, too.
Sure.
There you go.
Mary Frances, let me ask you, this has got to be one of the most important initiatives that your company is involved in for many, many years. Why is this so important to Jewel Osco?
Well, because you see the need out there. The need is worse than we've ever seen, right? So, you know what? Getting involved, being in the community, that's what Jewel Osco does. We've been doing this for 37 years, as Henry said, and the community has always helped us out here and helped out those who need something to wear in these bitter temperatures. So what I would suggest is that if people would kindly go out and either look through their closets, take out a coat that they haven't worn in probably a year, or even purchase a coat and bring it to one of our 189 stores. We've got boxes right here near the front end, and you'd be helping so many people.
Mary Frances, is there, like, I'm sure that you want new or lightly used coats. Is there any coat like that maybe you're saying, hey, you know, that's not one that we want? Give us the pros and cons of which coats you're really looking for here.
No, you know what? Any type of coat, whether it's an adult or for a child. You just go through the Salvation Army. The Salvation Army has families and adults, single adults and children that need the coat. So anything that anybody can provide at any of our stores, the campaign runs through February 16th. We're incredibly grateful.
Wonderful. Thank you, Mary Frances. Henry, I got one more question for you, sir. How encouraged are you about the Bears in the future? You think they can go even further next year?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I liked what I saw this year. I've turned into, a former player, turned into a fan, and I'm excited where the team's headed.
Okay.
And yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait to see more. I'm excited.
We're with you. We're with you. All right, Mary Frances and Henry,
Hopefully
thanks
we're
for
gonna be
being
in
with us this
Super Bowl
morning.
this time next
And
year.
the coat drive is still going on for about another week and a half. And make sure you visit those Jewel Osco stores and drop off your lightly used or new coats. We're going to be right back after this.
At Post Malone.
9:42, so excited about this next segment here. It's a voice that has grabbed the attention of the internet. Kai Rutledge, only 13 and just turned 13, okay? He's gone viral for his incredible performances. Someone reached out to me and said, he is a prodigy. You have to hear him in person. So he's here, along with the Emmy-winning, Grammy-nominated president of United Voices, Chicago, Josephine Lee. Love having you in studio. And one proud mama, Jennifer. Thank you so much for being here, all three of you.
Thank you.
It's an honor. Let me start with you, Josephine.
Yes.
And, you know, you get tons of young people who come through your doors. How do you know one kind of stands out?
I mean, you are going to witness an extraordinary voice. I mean, as you know, we serve 4,000 children in all zip codes, and we've been around for 70 years. But, you know, when you find that special gifted singer who has the power to transcend boundaries, this is it.
And you've got some things going on for Black History Month. Tell me about that quickly.
Yes, please come join us February 24th and 25th. We're at Congress Auditorium Theater this year. Tickets are available online at unitingvoiceschicago.org. And of course, we have a ton of events throughout the year.
All right, and that means that there are some other folks out here who are going to say, I want my kid joining them, especially after you hear Kai. But Jennifer?
Yes.
How much of a transformation has this all been? Like, how did you even know, wait, this isn't just a kid screaming around the house. Like, he's got something.
Yeah, so when he was young, around 5, he has this little guitar, it looks bigger than him, but, and then he was strumming it and he made up a song. And when I was listening, I was like, this sounds good. And so he was like 5, and then by the time he turned 9, I found Uniting Voices looking for a choir, and they showed up, and I was like, oh, wow, what's this? And yeah.
The rest is history.
The rest is history.
It's still living history. You're still making history, Kai. How are you taking all of the new attention?
Well, it's
It's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot. Right. I'm just thankful that a lot of people get to hear my voice and, well, be inspired by it.
Yeah. What do you like to do outside of music?
Well, I'm actually a calligrapher. Well, I take the time to write things down, you know, and especially in beautiful cursive.
Well, listen, so that means you're just talented in so many ways. The adults are going to scoot out. We're going to let you step up and do your thing, okay?
Okay.
Take it away.
Sei bella, più bella stasera, Mario. Splende un sorriso di stella negli occhi tuoi blu. Anche se avverso il destino domani sarà. Ti sono vicino perché sospira, sì perché parlami d'amore, Mario. Tutta la mia vita sei tu. Gli occhi tuoi belli brillano, fiamme di sogno scintillano. Dimmi che visione non è, dimmi che sei tutta per me. Qui sul tuo cuore non soffro più. Parlami d'amore, Mario. non soffro più. Parlami d'amore, Mario.
We weren't superstars. We were the boy next door. A lunch pail, hard hat group of guys. To this day, it gives me chills.
The American team, they were all amateurs. The feeling was these guys have no chance.
He was going to be a runaway. That's how dominant the Soviet team was.
We needed a change, and Herb was the perfect person.
Our approach to the game was going to be entirely different.
We signed Bobby! Herbie kicked our ass. I trained harder than I'd ever trained in my life.
The new documentary, Miracle, The Boys of 80, tells the incredible and legendary story of the 1980 men's Olympic hockey team and their unbelievable victory over the seemingly unbeatable Soviet team. Part of that team was a young man named Jack O'Callahan, who played for the Chicago Blackhawks for 6 seasons back in the 1980s. But when we spoke, I wanted to know about the first time he ever heard Al Michaels' iconic "Do you believe in miracles" line, since if you think about it, he was on the ice when it was actually yelled, and it actually unlocked a pretty cool memory for him.
5 seconds left in the game. Do you believe in miracles? Yes! Unbelievable.
Do you remember the first time you ever actually heard that now iconic Miracle line?
It was probably like the next day, something like, well, actually, that's not true because the game was on tape delay. So the Holiday Inn is up above the rink, right? The game was on 4 o'clock, and ABC was like, yeah, we'll show highlights of it at 7, after the U.S. gets beat like 9-0, no one's going to care. Well, they didn't realize what was going to happen. So we win, awesome. And then we got to get some food, right? We're hungry. So you can go up to the Holiday Inn, and they're going to, they have a dinner there, and they have this giant screen, like projection screen, and they show the game on the projection screen. I don't know. There had to be 2,000 people in the room. Yeah, we're sitting with our parents, kind of having dinner and watching the game, and it was unbelievable. And I think that's probably the first time anybody heard it.
This is a miracle. I can't believe it.
Miracle, The Boys of 80, streaming now on Netflix. We're going to go to break. We'll be right back.
All right, let's send it upstairs. Studio 32, Chicago Now, is getting ready to start at the top of the hour. Hey, guys.
Hey, variety, I would say, is the theme. Starting at 10. We got a ton of stuff. First of all, we all know the Coldplay couple, right? Caught on that...
Don't we ever?
Is it Kiss Cam?
Yes, it is.
Okay, so we all know the fallout.
Yeah.
We're going to check in with TMZ because the woman who was pictured, and her life was basically turned completely upside down by this whole entire incident. She's going to be the keynote speaker at a crisis PR conference. And our friends over at TMZ, they are going to kind of run us through the dynamic there. I know it's like almost $900 to see her speak.
Yeah, I was saying she lost her job, right? So maybe this is a way for her to make some money. Okay, and we're also getting a look ahead at the Forever Mine Music Festival that's happening Memorial Day weekend with one of its organizers. And we have a big director coming in studio to chat with Jake Hamilton, talking about a movie that has Chris Hemsworth, Halle Berry, Mark Ruffalo. It's Bart Layton coming to talk to Jake.
Also, one final thing. Again, it's variety as well. We're going to get the very latest out of the Nancy Guthrie search for her. As you know, the TMZ newsroom has actually been very involved in the reporting involved in this case. Michael Babcock is going to be here right off the top of the show to kind of run us through the nuts and bolts of the latest plea for the kidnappers themselves and what the Guthrie family is saying this morning. So that's all coming up on Chicago Now in about 3 minutes.